Hello YouTube, welcome again. Your tech guy here, Josh. Welcome to this tutorial series. As I promised you last time, I was to do a full tutorial on actually explaining about the competence skills of a great software engineer or software developer, all right? So today I'm gonna talk about some 10 kind of concepts you need to know, the skills you have to grasp at the back of your mind before going to that software engineering interview, or you're gonna do some sort of software engineering task or something like that. Okay, cool. So apparently you need to understand the technologies of any company you're going to do the coding for or stuff like that. The ability to produce a workable code is actually something which is needed in every company as a software developer. And then the knowledge of knowing the frameworks, the technologies, and the tools which are needed to produce the software in a workable kind of scenario. And then another thing you really need to understand in this case is the essential software engineering competence is a better predictor of an engineering success and productivity. Just mark that word, success and productivity. For you to be a productive software engineer, you have to write a workable code, you have to understand the frameworks, the tools, and the technologies which are used by that organization. Okay, so we can just jump right there and then start with the first kind of competence skills I found important, which is judgment and decision making. Okay, sorry. So what do I mean by that? Judgment, I'm talking about the ability to incorporate the past experiences and priorities and also the constraints that you experienced in your past, right? So by incorporating that, it's gonna make you the best or the great kind of software engineer that is needed outside there in the world and stuff like that. Okay, the second kind of competence skills I'm gonna talking about is communication. Communication can be both verbal and written. Okay, so in this case I'm gonna say that in the modern software engineering world or environment, the ability to express yourself well and others is really needed in the software kind of world, because you'll notice that you can be a good software engineer in terms of technical and stuff like that, but when it comes to explaining what you've done, you really don't have the right words to actually do the kind of demonstrations and stuff like that. So the skills of verbal and interpersonal communication is very important to being a great software engineer. Okay, number three, I'm gonna talk about the customer focus. Right, why do we talk about customer focus? Looking at a client or looking at the customer in this case, because we're doing software for obviously we're doing this software for a kind of customer client. All right, so the aspect of understanding the customer from the internal and external perspective, looking at the functionalities and the features the customer wants and then meeting them, will make you a great software engineer. So before just jumping into just kind of the development, incorporating your plan, you want to use agile, you're going to use kind of SDLC methodology, you're going to use maybe some sort of waterfall. That one will not make you a good person, because you're going to first of all understand the customer focus, the client needs, before just jumping in to do something called software, right? The fourth point I'm going to talk about is teamwork. Teamwork is a very broad word and is very important in kind of any career trajectory. I can speak it from my experience that teamwork can make you a really great kind of asset in an organization, right? The collaboration with teams and members will help you achieve common goals and objectives. Development roles include extensive and intensive collaboration within the team and the groups that you're working with. The inability to have the teamwork kind of skill will make you have a limited scope of performance, and it will really lead to less effectiveness in that kind of organization or the company that you're working with. Okay. The fifth point I'm going to talk about the great technical the competence that you have to need as a software engineer is coaching and mentorship. All right, you all understand that all engineers, this kind of skill will allow engineers to leverage their skills in a ways that will help others grow and develop. By doing this, you really need to coach others, you need to be coached by someone else, you need to be mentored, to be a tech lead, for example, in certain kind of organization. You really need to understand that when those tech leads who are being mentored by someone else, to be there. So you really need to learn. Let me, by the way, tell you that to be a software engineer is really something so easy. Basically the ability to have yourself wanting to learn new stuff, and learning fast will make you a great software engineer. All right, cool. So the fifth thing I'm gonna talk about, the sixth rather, is about self-awareness. All right, The great software engineers that we have outside here have actually continually improved their weaknesses, and this they have noted this by reaching a point of we call it diminishing return, right? So you're reaching a point that you feel that you really can't move, you're stuck somewhere, you're trying to write some code, you're going to Stack Overflow, you're checking some stuff on GitHub and it's not working, and then all of a sudden you're trying to Google and stuff and then you can't proceed. You find that you have a weakness there. So the ability to allow errors just chip in and help you. So there's something I'm gonna quote here, that there will be a great keen understanding of their strengths and always looking forward to leverage them. Those are the great software engineers, all right? A great engineer will always actively seek for feedback from their managers and peers, and this will be leading to two things. Number one, by seeking feedback from your colleagues, for your peers and stuff like that, will first of all improve your performance. Number two, it will improve your efficiency to work, all right? And then by doing all this, you're going to be a productive kind of person to that organization. And this is what we're aiming at when we're looking at a great software engineer. So you really need to have that kind of ability to like to be sick, to get advice from others and make you grow in a day-to-day basis. Okay. The seventh kind of skill I'm going to talk about is organization, goal setting, and stress management. A great software engineer should always manage all these all together. You can imagine that you are working under pressure, you have a lot of stress, you're not meeting your goals because of the deadlines and timelines that you have. They're so limited, and the organizational stuff and the structure, the company cultures and stuff like that, they might not be meeting to your kind of schedule, and then you come up. If you can't manage these stress, goal setting, and organization, you will find yourself being a very poor software engineer. So by prioritizing tasks and goals will help a software engineer remain productive and calm even in chaotic situations. All right. The eighth kind of skill I'm going to discuss about is a strategic skill. The strategic skill includes yourself with having the ability to quick fix solutions even when they look generally comprehensive and very extensive, right? You can be looking at a situation, like for myself, I can say this openly, that I've been having a very weird experience when it comes to talking about algorithms and data structures, and it keeps you feeling like you really don't grasp these concepts, but at the end of the day you grab it and say, yes, I did it. Okay, so you have to have that kind of strategic a really kind of scenario where you quick fix the issues within the limited time as possible, even if the situation is looking complex. Those are the skills that we need as a software engineer, right? The ninth kind of skill I'm going to discuss about is creativity and resourcefulness, all right? You need to have that creativity in writing code. You have to be thinking outside the box to provide innovative solutions to a tightly constrained problem. You can be given a very complex problem here that maybe requires you to go extra mile, think outside the box. You don't have to think that like that. You need to use kind of other methodologies, like other kind of skills to crack the solution and come up with a kind of workable code or something. So you need actually to be very creative and resourceful in terms of actually solving these tightly coupled and constrained problems, all right? The 10th one I'm gonna talk about is initiative as a skill. A great software engineer should be initiative in being a software developer by continually improving things when they notice ways of making them better. They don't wait for instructions to be given to them, but they're called just natural fixtures, okay? Not natural fixers, right? Sorry, oh my bad. Damn. So I'm talking about initiative. You need to be initiative. You don't have to be waiting for instructions to be given to you. You just need to be a natural fixer. You see a problem, just fix it like that, and then damn, you're a great software engineer, right? The 11th thing I'm going to talk about is adaptability. In adaptability, we're trying to talk about changing, actually like adapting to new technologies. For example, you're shifting from a company that you usually used to code with Ruby on Rails, and you're coming to a new technology where a company is doing maybe React with Node, and then you're right here, and then you're trying to really take a lot of, you're struggling to fix yourself inside and start studying React or something of the sort. You're studying Angular, and then it takes a lot of time for you to incorporate that bad practice, it's a poor practice. What you're gonna do is you have that kind of ability to learn stuff so fast, all right? So the technology changes incredibly really fast. Like every year, new frameworks come out, new technologies come out, and they need you to adapt to them because companies need their business scalability to go by. They want to escalate their issues, being handled in a pretty quick way. So the best developers continually evolve their skills. You need to evolve your skills, learn how the new technologies, embrace new development every day, and then by doing this, you'll become very passionate about continually evolving and becoming more efficient. And this is something which is really needed in any kind of organization, right? The 12th skill I'm going to talk about is the intelligence, the problem solving, and analytical skills. These are very important, right? What's the engineer's ability to learn new things? This is something which can be framed by your supervisors, your tech leads, and stuff like that. What's the engineer's ability to learn new things? The logical and the abstract thoughts that you're gonna take when you're working on a solution. Do they possess the ability to think through a problem and come up with a logical solution? Drawing up of conclusions. These are called analytical skills. How do you first come to a conclusion? How do you basically process in terms of coming up with a solution? How do you logically think and bring the abstract thoughts together so that you can come up with something we call like a workable kind of code, right? So the second last kind of skill or strength I'm gonna talk about a great software engineer is the passion and the energy. And this is my very important point. You have to be very passionate and energetic, and you trust in yourself that I'm gonna do this, man, I'm gonna crack it. Do you love your job? Okay, are you excited by the prospect of the new challenges? In every day you walk up to the job, you sit on your desk right there, you do the company culture and stuff like that, you grab your coffee right there. All of a sudden you need to get new challenges. How are you going to solve them? Are you really proud about how you're gonna solve your problems and stuff like that? Are you organized in day-to-day basis at your work? All right, how does your passion and energy drive you or affect your productivity? This is all you need to really think about as a software engineer. Oh, Josh, today you need to fix a bug, maybe, and I'm like, oh damn, I forgot to do that. That's not passion. Passion is when you just love what you're doing. You're a YouTuber, just love it. You just like writing code, just do it, man. You're gonna do it and you do it. You're gonna get what at the end of the day. Okay, cool. The last point I'm gonna talk about is ambition and motivation. All right. In ambition and motivation, you will say that a highly motivated person will lead to highly performance. Okay, when you get motivated, you lead to be more productive. The higher the motivation, the greater the performances. All right, and vice versa. I believe so. Don't stun me for that, right? Cool. By motivation, you can solve complex problems using different technologies, and this leads to new what we call knowledge acquisition, right? Yeah. Ambition. I'm motivated. I'll do work. I'll do more. And then what about that? Doing more, working a lot, doing a lot of things, problem solving very fast, complex problems, getting solutions in a really quick way, knowledge acquisition, you grow and grow, you develop your skills. You know what? That's all I can talk about. The great top 14 kind of skills you need to know as a great software engineer. I've talked about ambition and motivation. I've talked about energy and passion. I've talked about adaptability. I've talked about intelligence, problem solving, analytical skills. I've talked about being initiative. I've talked about creativity and resourcefulness. I've talked about strategic skills. I've talked about organization, goal setting, and stress management. I've talked about coaching and mentorship. I've talked about self-awareness. I've talked about customer focus. I've talked about teamwork, and I've talked about judgment and decision making, and I talked about communication, the 14 key aspects you need to take in as a software engineer from today. If you check this one hard, and then you're gonna be a great software engineer. And that, I'm gonna see you in the next one. And don't forget to subscribe and hit my button. I need to have like 1,000 subscribers so that anytime I do a channel right here, you're gonna get it so first on your table, and then you're gonna learn this. This is going to help you. Share this video if it was so important to you. Give it a like, up, leave a comment section, and allow me tell me what I can do next time, so that it can help us, grow in a day-to-day basis. See you next time. Keep safe. Yeah, sure. Bye.